Welcome, everyone, to another promising episode of my weekly price action based technical analysis. And I'm indeed thrilled to have you here. In today's video, we'll be delving into a detailed analysis of the Goldspot commodity, focusing on a comprehensive price action perspective, and together we will explore the recent market movements and chart patterns to uncover valuable insights that could greatly influence our trading decision in the coming week. And with that being said, here, let's dive right into the business for today. And as usual, since this is going to be a follow up detail to my previous analysis, I would like to share with you some of the key moments that we had during the course of last week as we were able to scoop close to 1,000 pips after having multiple entries on this commodity. So, talking about last week, we saw the situation here. So, this was my first commentary at the beginning of the week where we spotted a beautiful flat channel that we want to be using to guide our trading activity for the week. And for the fact that this flat channel is sitting on a strong demand zone around the 1940 level, we were anticipating a bullish momentum that will even break out of the bearish trend line we identified at the beginning of the week to incite an opportunity to buy the gold spot. So, with our buy stop order placed above that structure, we had a situation where price action broke out. Though this move here that broke out of this level was a behind the scene trading activity which never reflected on our charts. But the following day, we saw the breakout of the 1947 when the market opened, and it was at this point we had our first buy position for the week. And price action continued to ride to the upside on this one as we were able to maximize the potential of the bullish move by adding more entries to our existing position. So throughout the first half of last week into the later part of last week was more of buying the XAUUSD as we continue to ride the trend all the way to the upside using that trend line as our yardstick. However, something interesting happened on the last trading day of last week, and that was around the time we anticipating the NFP data, which obviously came very, very positive as it came beyond expectation. So after having a TP target hit on Friday morning at around the 1980, we positioned ourselves ahead of the New York session of the NFP data rather, where we were looking forward to selling opportunities below the 1975 and the buy opportunity above the 1982 level. And this was exactly what happened. We saw price action broke down structures, and we also had the privilege of adding more opportunities to our existing trade by having positions triggered at breakdown of key levels that were projected during our live session. So it was quite an interesting and profitable week for us all here. And for those who would like to go through how we took advantage of these opportunities, I will be dropping the link to this commentary in the description box of this current video. And if you are watching this from my YouTube channel, you would obviously see the link at the top right hand side of your screen. So, with that being said, here, let's dive right into the business for today. And what I have here is quite a simple setup, which I think we can use to guide our trading activity for this week. And the first thing I did on the 4 hours time frame was to acknowledge price action activity since the beginning of the month of May. And obviously, you will see here that price action has been bearish, and with consistent lower highs, I was able to connect them to give us this bearish trend line, which will definitely be part of the parameters that we are going to be using to guide our trading activity for the week. And besides the trend line here, one interesting thing you would have noticed after the lower highs that was identified here was that during the second half of last month, we saw how price action was initially ranging between the 1980 before it dropped into the 1936 level last week, which later turned out to be um, a platform for buying opportunity, bringing price back into the trend line and the 1980 level, which has been a strong selling niche since the second half of last month, as you can see here. And as soon as price action tested both the 1980 and the bearish trend line, we saw this impulsive bearish move to the downside, which of course was as a result of the NFP data and then the US debt ceiling saga, which was finally resolved and voted positively for in the Congress and the House of Rep. So with the situation we have here, you will see that price action um, is still within that range which we identified earlier, just between the 1980 and the 1940 to further emphasize the level of indecision in this market. And you know how we do it whenever we have this kind of simple flat channel. We want to wait patiently for price action to either break out of the resistance line at the 1980 for buying opportunity or break down the support line at the 1940 for an opportunity to sell. But since price action is still within that range, are we going to wait for the whole, let's see, how many pips is that? The whole 300 pips before thinking of buying? Or are we going to be waiting for the whole of close to 100 pips to happen before thinking of selling? Of course not. So, what we are going to be doing here is to identify key structures that will help us to identify the potential direction that price action is likely going to be going in the coming week. And of course, this is from a technical standpoint. And one of the things I wanted to use here to help me project or position myself ahead of the week was this key level identified at the 1955. And one thing about this level is that it has been a major determinant of price action in the last couple of weeks, as you will see here, how this level at one point was serving as a very strong demand zone, as you can see here. And in fact, it also happened here too as well before it became a selling niche at this point, and then it's returned back to be a buy zone again. And what we saw here during the last trading day of last week was price action breaking down that key level one more time. So at this point in time, how do we intend to take advantage of a potential move? Then another thing here is this trend line, this bullish trend line, which was supporting that bullish momentum throughout the course of last week, was also broken to the downside. So, one of the scenarios I'm looking forward to in the coming week is the possibility that price action could still retrace back into the trend line to retest it at one point to incite another wave of bearish momentum to the downside. And if you look at the retest of that, the potential retest of the structure, it also shares a confluence with the bearish trend line that has been supporting this momentum since the beginning of last month. So that is one scenario I'm looking forward to. Then another thing that could happen here is that price action could transition into a trend continuation pattern, like a bearish rectangle, where price action respects the key level at the 1955 with continued selling pressure on my lower time frame, hereby transitioning into a choppy situation to give me probably a bearish rectangle pattern or any trend continuation pattern around that area where a breakout of structure will welcome more opportunities. And if price action continues in such a way that it breaks down the 1940, a level which has been a strong buying niche in the last couple of weeks, then we will definitely be looking out for more opportunities to sell the XAUUSD for this week. So these are my views here on the XAUUSD. Then another thing that could happen if price action climbs up into the trend line is that we could see a breakout of that trend line, that trend line that has been supporting this bearish momentum since the beginning of last month is what I'm talking about here. That is the red line on your screen. Then at this point, we want to be consider buying the XAUUSD as we already have a bullish trend line that has been guiding this momentum since last week. So these are my views here on the XAUUSD, but trust me, I will be with you in the comment section after monitoring how participants in this market will be reacting to this current structure during the early hours of the week to give you what my thought process are. I hope this video has been of immense help in making your personal and independent decision for the new week. And if it did, I kindly ask for your support. Please consider giving this project a thumbs up by hitting the like button. Your likes are incredibly valuable and they help the video reach more people or traders who may find this video helpful. If you haven't already, I would love you to subscribe to my channel. By subscribing, you will be notified whenever I upload new videos, ensuring that you never miss out on the latest updates I have for you. I wish you best of luck during the coming week, and I look forward to seeing you right in the comment section of all of my trading view and public platforms to give you updates as at when due. Do have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye bye.